Hi guys, this is Olenko from Olenko's Kitchen, and today I have a special guest, my friend Jamie Layton. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of cool things today, and do you want to introduce yourself first, like a little background?
I'm Jamie Layton. I am on the board of directors for the Masters Octave. I do the social marketing for the Masters Octave on social media. Um, what else? I am a host of the Ebb and Flow Receive and Let Go show, where we discuss the new and full moon, the energies of the new and full moon, and how to receive and let go with the new and full moon. Um, I'm an
The
artist. I'm a mother. I don't know, an energy worker. Yeah,
amazing
all those things.
empath and light worker. So
hmm
yes, a lot. And tomorrow is a super new moon. We
hmm
can talk about this a little bit. I just saw you on Tuesday, yes, at the beach. It was so fun. And yeah, so we have lots of topics to go through, and also you homeschool your children, which I'm
Yes.
very interested about talking this because I'm an educator myself. So
hmm
like why you chose to. So we can talk a little bit about conscious parenting, about current energies, diet, like body, soul, mind connections, going into 5D and all this intergalactic stuff, and how is like the current energies affecting us, about self-care, self-love, all these rituals that we can do, to help us just stay balanced and I will say neutral, because the energies I think been very strong. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been feeling them very, I've been feeling anxiety and emotions like crazy and excitement, so it's all there for sure.
Yes, I feel the same, like a roller coaster of energies. And
Mm.
what I've realized, and many times the energies come and all these emotions, and I really have to like stop for a moment and discern the emotions, because I don't know. I'm like, are they mine or no mine? Is it like collective stuff? Is it like my wounded inner child, stuff from the past, like my family
Yeah.
memories? Like, where is this coming from? I just feel like it's a lot of energies, like we like bombarded.
Yeah, I have been feeling some stuff from the past being brought back up to the surface
Mm-hmm.
again that I didn't even know I was still holding on to. But it's great because now I get to release it and I get to understand it, and it's like another layer of me is being exposed, like a whole new me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very grateful for it. I mean, when you're going through these intense
Mm-hmm.
energies, it can be very overwhelming and hard to understand. But for me, I got a lot of answers, and it's still coming.
Yes, and you married to a great man who is a hypnotherapist, so you're
hmm
very lucky because he can help you. He can do some hypnosis on you. I mean, Jason is incredible. I mean, he helped me so much with my allergies, and yeah. So if anybody wants to do a hypnosis session, I really recommend Jason. So what shall we start? Shall we start like self care, self love rituals? That what can we do to, to bring like the joy and bliss in this, sometimes, harsh emotions, we cry, we make it
hmm
emotional, we make it frustrated, and especially I think for women, because we're more hormonal and we're very connected to the moon, and I know that's what you
hmm
very interested, yes, in the connection to the moon. Do you want to start with that, and then we can go up to your past and your children and everything?
Yeah, so for me, when these emotions are coming up, I really suggest highly to just go through them because I sometimes want to block myself from feeling emotional. I don't know why. I guess it's just because nobody wants to feel overwhelmed, but definitely go through them. Some of the things I do is once I've gone through the emotion, whether it's crying or anxiety or whatever it is that's coming up for me, I like to take a bath. I like to put my feet on the ground. Um, I talk to the moon, ask for guidance, like why is this happening? What do I need to let go of? What am I trying to receive that I haven't let go of? So those are things that I normally do. And for ritual wise, I write my stuff down, my questions or the things that I need answered down, especially under a new moon, because I want answers. And then when I need to let go of things, I usually get those answers with the new moon, and I let go of them under the full moon. I usually write them down and burn them. So it's a release.
And you can, I've heard, that's great. I've heard some people saying, which I've heard like conflicting information, like when it comes to crystals. Some people say put them during new moon, but don't put them in the full moon, because like the conspiracy theories and stuff, they say that moon is artificially brought to us. It's not really like a real planet or something like this. So they say we can like get the matrix energy on the full moon, so it's better to do it on the new moon. But then I've heard that people said, you know, it's better do it on both. So what do you have any idea how what
I've
to do?
always been taught to put them under a full moon because the energy is so full and vibrant. So you're getting that charge, you're getting that energy. I don't know about, I mean, I've heard that too with the moon being artificial. I don't know that it is. I don't know that it's not, but I do know that it's affecting us. You definitely can feel the intensity when it's full. Look at an emergency room, for example. It will become fuller and more hectic than any other night.
Look at us at we went during eclipse. We were on the cruise, and what happened to the water? The whole ocean was like it was like the huge storm, and I was one of the people who, like, half of the boat we were sick. You were not sick, we were lucky, but people were very affected. So it like affects the farmers will go with the, you know, with the phases of the moon. The water. My father-in-law was in the emergency room. He actually got 15 pounds of retained water in his body during, you know, so it's like we are made, I think, like 70% of water. So I feel like we really definitely affected by moon. So
yeah, and I was born under a full moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that, like, it's definitely affecting the waters. I mean, you think about a pregnant or a child in the womb, it's inside water. We're made up of mostly water, so definitely it's affecting us in all kinds of ways.
So, yeah. So you said you take a bath. Any specific bath that you do, or just?
I would do Epsom salts or some oils. I just like soaking in a warm tub. If I can't have the Epsom salts or any kind of essential oil, then I definitely just with the water, and I bless the water before I get in, and I touch it and I bless it, and when I'm in it, I submerge myself and feel myself getting that blessing as well. And then I think of everything dripping off me, coming out into the water, and when I release the drain, that it's gone with the tub. You know, it's gone with the water in the tub.
And you are so lucky because you guys live in the most beautiful place that we love, like the beach. You like really like 10 minutes, like 5 minutes from the beach. Yeah, you were born like so close to the beach. So there's nothing better than like going to the beach, to the ocean, yes, and like also release, So so they lucky they can do this all the time. And for me, it's like an hour and a half drive, you know, to the beach. But yeah, that's amazing. I know, like, if people don't have a bathtub, you can do it in the shower too. Or I was interviewing my friend Vera, and she said she sometimes when she's at work and it's very stressful, she will even just wash her hands in the cold water and imagine that like the water will take the negative energy, you know, and that helps her calm her down. So really, really nice. Do you do any like rituals with specific, you know, I don't know, like food that you take or fast? I know some people like to fast during, you know, full moon, new moon, or anything else that, no? No.
I just try to look at what the new or full moon, what sign it's in. And so if it's like a water sign, I want to be near some water, or I want to touch water or bless water, or, you know, focus more on that. If it's earth, I want to focus more on the earth. If it's fire, you know, I want to focus on energy and like releasing, sometimes, you know, dancing, like dancing under the full moon.
Yes. Which we did. That was so fun.
Yes. That was
during
fun.
the camping. Yeah, that was awesome. So now we have the new moon in Virgo, yes. Any
Which
tips
is
that
Earth.
you can give us? So grounding to the earth, yes, hugging trees,
Definitely
yes.
grounding.
Yeah.
Grounding and crystals are earth,
Mhm.
they come from the earth, so they're very connected to the earth. So all kinds of crystals, especially quartz crystal.
Mhm.
What else would I suggest with that? Definitely writing things down. You could bury it in the ground,
Like in the earth.
in the earth, or in a pot. If in the spring, you can bury it with seeds and watch it grow.
Mhm.
I've done that. That's really cool. Um, yeah, I usually just I ground myself as much as possible.
Mhm.
I and if I can't be outside, I have a grounding blanket that my husband and I actually we make grounding blankets.
Really?
I'll wrap it around me and do whatever ritual with the earth
How
that
you
way.
make a
If it's
grounding blanket?
yeah.
But how do you
Oh, how
make
do
it?
I?
Yeah.
Well, we buy the fabric, which has silver threads through it, and then I take real silver thread and hem the edges. And Jay takes an alligator clip and wire, and and attaches it to I'm not sure the specific name of it, but it's where you plug in. It's the third prong. It's just the third prong. That's where the ground is in your outlet,
Oh,
so you
okay.
can get grounded that way. And we sleep on that.
Wow.
And
You should take a class on that. That's amazing. I mean, these guys are so talented, and she's so creative. Like, she's such a good artist. So, that's awesome. I
Thank you.
never heard of the grounding blanket, but
I know. I'm surprised we never talked about it before.
yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
webinar class. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested. I mean, I love like going, putting my feet on the ground or hugging trees or just releasing to the earth. I mean, I do this like no matter what time of the
The
moon it is
season.
because I just love nature. Nature is my
Hmm.
muse. But so what else, people? So you don't do anything specific with the diet, like drinking more water or something, no?
Not intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll notice I won't eat as much
Mm-hmm.
during the new moon, but it's not intentional.
Sometimes I feel people also have craving. They may be like not eating, or maybe eating a lot, like having specific cravings for something.
Yeah.
Which me as a health coach, I believe sometimes it could be collective. Like you can be picking up even like your neighbors or neighborhood cravings for food or something. For grounding, also will be good to eat root vegetables, like things that
Yes.
grow in the earth, like beets or potatoes or sweet potatoes or um,
Carrot.
carrots or parsnip, leeks, leeks kind of grow just a little bit, onions, anything that, it's in the ground, it's very, very grounding. So, that will be,
That's a good tip.
that will be good. Yeah, I want to do a juice fest, but that's another story. So,
Hmm.
after the summer is over. So, let's talk about, you as a mom. I think a lot of people will be very, very interested, why you chose, to homeschool your children. It's just, I think, it's a fascinating topic. And I know a lot of people who are choosing this now.
Oh, I chose for a few different reasons. We first moved into this town that we live in now, and my youngest son, I was signing him up for preschool, but we missed the sign-ups because we moved a little too late. And so I opted to homeschool him for preschool to get him ready. And he went to kindergarten into first grade, and then he asked to be homeschooled again. And I was very surprised, but I'm sure I was open to it because we were already doing it. So that's what we decided to do with him. And then his older brother, I talked to him about it, and he was very interested, and we decided to do that. My oldest son actually graduated high school, so I did not homeschool him, but I thought about it when he was younger because he was getting into a little bit of trouble in school. So that's where the first time it ever came up in our experience. We spoke about homeschooling him, but
I,
he did graduate high
I
school.
don't know if we're still streaming because we've disappeared. Oh, we came back. That's weird.
Hmm.
It's just interesting. We like disappeared for a second. So you homeschool all of your kids? You have three boys?
Yeah, no, I didn't homeschool my oldest son.
Okay.
He actually graduated high school. my middle guy and my youngest son, I homeschooled.
Okay. And you still
And
homeschooling one.
I still homeschool.
So how
my
is
other son
homeschooling
just
if somebody
graduated.
doesn't understand what it is? Like, can you, like,
So it's different in every state. In New Jersey, there really aren't any rules.
it's called
So
unschooling, yes? What is it called?
it's
Unschool.
but you can have unschooling in New Jersey where
Okay.
the child can be free and learn on its own, on his or her own pace, whatever he or she wants to learn. So we implement some of that into our schooling. We also talk about, astrology. We talk about the stars. We talk about meditation. We practice meditation with the kids, yoga. What else do we do? We watch a lot of spiritual documentaries, so the kids are very informed about a lot of different things. But
But do
I
they have to
mean,
pass the exams? Like, I think in New
no.
York, because see, I live in New York, I think if you want to homeschool your children, I'm not 100% sure, but
Yes, every
you
state
have
has
to
different
they
laws.
have to pass some kind of exam, so they don't. So how do they know, like, so
No.
they don't graduate to like the next grade or no?
Uh, there's no there's no law on
Or
it.
what if they
It's
want to
very
go to college? What do they like? How do they have to pass
so
something?
they can still go to college. They will have to pass an exam for college. The
Okay,
college will test them, like a
okay,
placement test, or see what they need to, further their education if they need to. Some students in New Jersey, homeschool students in New Jersey, take college courses, while they're still learning high school. It's very, very open and no rules around with the
that's
homeschooling there.
amazing. Imagine your life without grades in school. I mean, I'm a teacher. I mean, I love teach. I teach art. You know, art is fun. Most of the
Hmm.
kids love art, and but I used to hate school. Like
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Poland. It was communist. They were very tough. You know, we had to wear uniforms. We had to recite poems about Lenin and Stalin. You know, we had to go and
Mhm.
march. You know, it was just yeah, it was tough. And I didn't like school. I don't know how I ended up being a teacher, but that's another story too. But yeah, it's like that must be amazing, like for your kids that they just have no grades. They can just find what they like and follow their own path
Mhm.
because we are so programmed by society, by school. I mean, we go to school for like 15 years every day. I mean, 5 days a week for many hours. So it's like a lot of programming.
Yeah. Yes. We try to deprogram
Wow,
that.
that's awesome. So your kids, so they still socialize. So do you have a lot of friends that they homeschool
Yes.
kids too, and what they have like because most of the time when the kids go to school, they socialize and they have the interaction with other kids. So
Mhm.
you do like they have friends
There,
and
we were involved in some homeschool groups in the
okay,
beginning, um, but they still have friends from the neighborhood and, from all around. So we have no issues with socializing.
hmm
They played sports and were involved with extracurricular activities outside of school as well. So they've always been social. They haven't missed out on that. They didn't have like, it was one thing my youngest son said that he missed about school was like the lunch, having the
no
the social
lunch. Okay.
lunches and the playtime outside with the other kids. But I asked him if he wanted to go back, and he's like, no.
So do they
He's
have to get up at certain time, like in the morning,
Yeah, we
and
have a
then like
schedule.
okay, otherwise I guess they do
Otherwise,
need
there's
routine, otherwise there will be nothing will get accomplished, right?
exactly, yeah,
So
and there's been times like that. It's
okay,
been a little frustrating at times, I'm
okay.
not gonna lie.
So how do you implement? Do you give them homework or because if you,
We usually set up the week before on a Friday for the week ahead. So we have like this at this hour you're gonna study math, this hour you're gonna study music, this hour you're gonna study whatever documentary I decide to show them or teach them. Um, yeah, we have it set up like school, but not so strict.
awesome. I mean, so interesting. People imagine life like I mean a lot of our jobs are like the whole society. I think the whole world is really changing. Like we're really moving into other dimensions. So imagine if you can just enjoy your life, like enjoy your job, do really what you're passionate about. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to be worrying about grades. It's so, we live in such a like stressful times. Like we so, and especially like, I work at regular school, like public or private, but still these kids have so many exams and they so like programmed, to you do the standardized tests, and it's like after like when they come to art or music and I tell them just express yourself, have fun, many times they like, what should I do? Like they want me to tell them what to do because they just not used to just having the freedom of expressing themselves.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
But you went to school, yes?
I did. Yes.
So you see a difference between like you and when you were adolescent and your kids, that's the way.
They're less stressed, but I mean there's still stresses involved, my older son who just graduated, he won't be doing homeschool anymore. He's 18 now. He was stressed for the last year of school with us because he didn't know what he wanted to do. So we had to like kind of push him a lot.
Oh, he didn't know like what subjects he wants to pursue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Nothing was like interesting him anymore.
Okay.
So we had to push some things on him.
Okay.
But he's great. He studied mostly the guitar. So he's very, very good with music and guitar. Oh, and his writing is phenomenal. He is a great writer.
It's very interesting because I feel like, we all learn in different styles. Like for some people, I think we do need the structure. And
Yes.
I'm an artist, I'm a free spirit, so I'm just very creative. But I think like having a little structure helps a little bit. Otherwise, I'll be just like, walking on the clouds, which.
Oh, we need the structure here too as well.
I mean,
with the homeschool.
Okay. So there has to be.
That's for our family, not for everybody. Some families don't, do it that way. They let the child, if they're doing unschooling, they let the child decide. And I've seen some really great outcomes with that. I've seen a young woman who was 13 and she taught herself art, and she winds up being an assistant art teacher for a college course at 13 or 14 years old. So I mean, there's some great things, and she taught herself dancing and anything she wanted to learn, she had to teach herself.
I mean, that's great. Like now on the internet, you can find anything on like online and like learn, how to do anything. Like when I was young, we didn't have that. So
Yes.
So this is really, really cool. And now a lot of children, like being born, they are indigo children, whatever you call them, like all this different crystal. There's a lot of children, that they are autistic or something. Do you believe like that the shots, do you have something to say about this topic?
Well, with the vaccines, I did vaccinate my children in the beginning. I stopped doing it. That was another reason why I wanted to get them out of the public school system.
That's why I know a lot of people do that, yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that after my little guy received a set of vaccinations, he was so far behind in vaccinations because he was sick that they gave him so much at once, and then he developed, like within that week, he developed a really bad eczema on his skin, and got some really bad infections. And I didn't put two and two together until I really started researching the vaccines. So we weren't a big fan of that anymore. And that was one of the big reasons why we opted out of, because every year there was like a new vaccine they had to get,
Yeah, this kids
even
so
even in high school.
In this country, much more than like where I live.
Oh yeah.
It's when I came to this country and I was going to college as an international student. I have to get all these vaccines, and then I was wondering, 20 years, and that's how my allergies started. And I'm thinking maybe this had something to do with my seasonal allergies too, because you're getting all these chemicals into your body, and it really lowers your immune system. So it's very interesting. But like with everything, there's always many different stories. So okay, I want to talk now about beliefs, and even now like with the vaccine. So you and your husband he used to do, I think, more channeling. He used to channel, yes,
Mm-hmm.
and this what was the name of the place that you've been?
The Masters Octave?
Yeah. So that was called that. Yeah. So do you do channeling too? Did you used to do it like?
I have
Mhm.
channeled before, yes. I feel like when I speak to the moon or to
Mhm.
any of the stars out there, when I need answers or even just out loud, I get a lot of answers. I hear
Mhm.
lots of answers, or I'll get it in my dreams or something. So I feel like I'm always doing that, but not like putting myself in a trance for it to come fluidly out as most channelers would do.
Okay. Do you have like a person that you like to listen, like who channels, or not anymore? Or
Marina.
oh yeah, yeah, Marina Jacobi, our friend. But so you don't channel anymore. So you oh
I mean, not in a
like in a
trance
group
like
when you
state.
used to like do it.
Yeah, no. I only a handful of times. It
Hmm.
just came out of me.
So do you think anybody can do it, or we all have this kind of abilities,
I
or?
think yes, I do believe that. I just think that you have to, like anything else, exercise it and
Mhm.
practice. So, if you feel like you have an urge to say something and you don't know where it's coming from, that's most likely channeled information coming through, and they want you to express it.
Mhm. So because now like when you go online there's so many people channeling so many different
Hmm.
beings, and sometimes it can get like confusing. And
Yeah.
so I know, like even with diets, when people ask me about different diets, like, oh, I hear this person says this is good and this is not good, it gets confusing. So do you have any advice for people when they're looking into like, because now a lot of people are waking up, they getting more into like spirituality and stuff that maybe some of us been like following this path for a long time, like, so what advice would you give them?
Meditate,
How do
clear
you
your mind.
meditate? Because there's many ways to meditate.
For me, I mean, exactly, there's many ways. Sometimes it's just sitting under a tree and just relaxing against a tree and closing my eyes. Sometimes just by touching my feet on the ground, I feel bare feet on the ground, I'm feeling very connected. So that helps me to clear my mind and sit down, but always with breathing. Always
Hmm.
for me with breathing, taking the nice cleansing breaths in and cleansing breath out, and, having a focused breathing technique is how I normally get into that state.
So you will say that for people to meditate and then find like their own messages.
Find a breathing technique that works for
Hmm.
you, because that's going to help significantly. When you're trying to clear your mind and you're thinking, think about your breath, because and then you're calming the body down, you're calming the mind down, and you're not focusing on any specific thought other than your breathing.
Hmm. Oh no, breath is amazing. I've been taking Pilates for the whole summer because I hurt my shoulder. My shoulder's getting much better, but still a little popping. But yeah, I messed up my whole shoulder and the collarbone. But yeah, and like there's like some hard exercise we can do, and then like you breathe, you have to concentrate on the breath, and it's like she says 2 more minutes, and you keep doing, and like I can't do it, but when you concentrate on breathing, like you kind of make it, and then it's like then
Yeah,
it feels good. So breath really helps a lot.
breath is very important, how you're
Yes.
breathing.
So talking about breathing, what do you think about breatharians? People who say they don't need food anymore. That's
I I I think that's an amazing if you can do that. For me, I can fast for only a few days, and that's about it.
mhm,
I enjoy food.
mhm.
I
Me too.
enjoy the taste, of what Mother Earth gives us. I guess while you're here, enjoy it, or if you can do the breatharian, go, great. That's wonderful if it was working for you. But for me right now, it's not my path.
Mhm. So going back to uh, it could be even with breatharian or with anything like raising your children. So you don't raise them in any like specific religion or anything, yes? Or do you?
I have not.
Mhm.
I was raised Catholic, went to church
Me
and
too.
stuff when I was younger, but I I didn't find my comfort zone there. I found it more so just I would ask for things and things would happen like synchronicities. So I know I have a connection with source.
Hmm.
And that's where I have my sacred space in my home or outside my home where I speak to source, whether it's through the stars or through the moon or through meditation or what have you. And that's how I teach my children.
And so yeah, your children are great. I had a pleasure to meet two of your kids because the other one, is not there, lives somewhere else. But yeah, they're really great. You have such a great family. You have so many friends. You guys just have like pure joy and love and light. Like people just want to be with you guys. So what's your secret to successful marriage? Because I think a lot of women will be, wondering.
I
You guys are
I
so
lucked
great.
out. I lucked out and I have a good partner
Hmm.
and we mostly all the time get along. I mean, every marriage has their struggles from time to time, but that's growth for us. It's not like a place where we try to get away from each other. It's more like what's not working and why. So we have good communication. I think that's huge. If you can communicate and really listen to one another, that's something that we have. Also compromise. I sometimes women especially they want things done their way because they're so used to doing most of the work at home, with raising the family and taking care of the household. So for me, when he wanted to help out, had to learn to just step aside and let him do that. Um,
Even
I
when the
think
dishes are not done properly.
perfect,
Yeah.
yes. Or the bed's not made perfect. I
Yeah.
know, yes. I'm not going to fix it though.
Yeah.
I learned to just
Yeah.
leave it.
Yeah.
That's help. And how could I refuse help when I'm always asking for it? So,
Yeah. That's a good advice. Because I'm asking this because with these times now, a lot of people are like going through difficult, life-changing situations. Like they living their partners, husbands, they moving their jobs, they very confused, like what they should do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff politically. I mean, socially with everything, like with the social media. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Like it can get confusing, overwhelming, galactically, like
mhm.
with stars. So I think having a very, like we talk about grounding, a family, like a base that, and that you don't have to be married to, telling the family, you can be like your own family, but having the um how would you say, like a core, a
Mhm.
good core, like strength from your core when you're exercising, it's all from your core. It really, then you can make it any kind of struggles. So do you want to touch on this a little bit, like how to create like a good family? Because many of us, we are not born into, I mean, I'm not talking about you, like me, like I didn't have a happy childhood, but I'm trying to create my own. Any advice for
Well,
people?
well, I mean, I've had a little bit of a tough childhood as well, and I think that's where my core came from because I knew
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I wanted when I got married. My first two children aren't from my marriage that I'm with in now with my husband
Mm-hmm.
Jason. And what I really wanted was somebody who was going to be a good father and a good husband. And when we talked to when we before we started dating, we were really good friends, and so he knew what I was looking for, and that helped a lot being good friends. I mean, as far as what's the question?
Like how
How
you
do we get a good
create this
core?
this family. Yeah, I'm just laughing because my husband just, thank you for all the comments. Sometimes it's hard to see, but my husband just says the happy marriage is husband selective hearing is the key. And then, yes, Alex, I am sitting in the serious gaming chair. I'm in Bill's office, my husband's office. He was gaming here. Yeah, that's a gaming chair and a headphones. So yeah, how did you didn't have it with the first marriage? How did you create it? That good core family. Like how did you create it? Found the perfect
I
husband.
Well, we were really in love, and
Yeah,
we still are very much
yeah.
in love. And when you love somebody, you want to to be a good core. You build a good foundation. Like I said, communication is key, listening to one another and talking. Sometimes people don't talk. Sometimes people leave it all in and then blow up. Talking right away about something, communicating, and really listening to each other. Sometimes we've had times in the past where, I'm trying to communicate something or he was trying to communicate something. It was both of us. And it took a few days of like being silent with each other, but really soaking it in. The thing is, we always come back. We have always been very strong. So it was hard. It's hard to crumble our foundation, I guess. I don't know what the secret is. We work very well together. I think a lot of that came because we were very good friends before we started a relationship.
Do you have like for me, see, like I've been married. We're gonna have anniversary this Saturday for 17 years, and
Happy anniversary.
yes, so it's to have your own things, no? Just because I know some couples that they do everything together, and then like after a few years they just get like honeymoon is over, they just get bored. I think for me it's very important to have the individuality and your own passions and like your own friends, and you do it together, but you do it separate, so you're not just like. Yeah, the merging is good, but sometimes you have to be your own person, and sometimes it's easy. We can lost ourselves in the marriage and in the job, in the parenting and everything. So, what do you think of that? So, do you have like your own?
I do.
Yeah.
I have my own things. He does too. He plays sports, so he plays hockey, so he's playing hockey some nights a week, and I have girlfriend time or just time alone with kids, or just a lot of time sometimes to myself, just, doing what I need, meditating or working on art or creating something. Definitely, that is true. To have your own headspace and have your own things to separate yourself, because what is that called? Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Which
So,
for me
yeah,
works because my husband travels a lot. That's what many people say.
yeah.
You're lucky, because I wish my husband would be like gone for 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, you're saying this, but then you miss him. So after like 2 days, I'm like, oh, I miss my husband. So, yes. Anything else? Oh, like if somebody's going, because you're such a beautiful person and a light worker. So like if somebody's going through difficult times now, like what will be like. Do you think it will be good for them to like hire a therapist or get like a group, I don't know, coaching group or whatever, hypnosis, acupuncture, massage, or, like what's.
Well, I believe that a lot of things are psychological. That when we're little, from the age of 0 to 7 years old, we're in a state of theta, and we're like basically in hypnosis. So we're taking everything in, and sometimes when traumas aren't dealt with, you're dealing with traumas as a young child, and they're not dealt with at that age, and how to get over things or how to manage that trauma, you can block it in your subconscious mind, and it'll come out later on. So that's kind of stuff that that I'm going through now that I see. So for me, hypnotherapy, of course, my husband's a hypnotherapist, so I'm very lucky that way, but we have used hypnotherapy and I've healed so much from it. And finding things that I couldn't believe that are still stored up inside me from all these years. You cannot lock them down. You think that time heals everything and it's forgotten about, but something later on is going to bring it to the surface. And I think that's our power. Emotion and healing, that's our power. That we do that naturally.
Yeah, I call this T equals T, our trash, like what we, with the things that we don't like, the bad things, the emotions, the things that we like get frustrated with ourselves or something happen, is actually our best lesson. Like that's why like our trash is our treasure, and like really treasure, like when something is going on is very hard, but to actually look at this and like, what is this trying to teach me? And like,
Yes.
why is this coming from? Like, could be from your childhood or other lifetimes or many different things. So
That's
yeah, go
that's
ahead.
really important. how you said that, like, what is this trying to teach me? Because some of us get caught up in this victim mentality where, why does this keep on happening to me? Why does it only happen to me? It's always happens to me. Instead of saying that, it's always happening to me. Why? What is this lesson here? What am I supposed to be learning? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. And so sometimes you can't grow unless you're having a little bit of struggle. I just seen a documentary last night I was watching it with my husband. It was called Heal. And in the one part of the documentary, they were talking about a caterpillar being inside of a cocoon, and it was, trying to emerge from the cocoon, and a man seen that this butterfly was trying to emerge, and he cut the cocoon open, and the cocoon, the butterfly winds up dying because it needs that struggle in order to transform.
Oh, because somebody was trying to help him?
Yeah, so they need to, like, learn how to use their wings and get out of the cocoon themselves, or else they're not going to grow. They're not going to transform. They're going to die because everything was done for them.
Interesting. And I really like what you said, victim mentality. It was so interesting. I was listening today to this interview. It's called Cosmic Agency, and this girl, her name is Gosia. She's Polish, but she talks about, like, she has a contact with some kind of Pleiadians, and they just said, like the other previous recording, they said the humanity, they're not ready for the contact. We're not ready because we're looking for the savior. Like we want somebody, we think that somebody, God, angels, aliens, whatever, is gonna come and save us, or
Right.
if we get a better president or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's us against the world. And then she was explaining today in this new video that it's all about, like, the victim mentality, and no one is here to save us. Like, we have to go through this, like you said, the experiences, the difficulties, because we only here to save ourselves. And
Yeah.
it's hard, but there's no other way, right?
It's hard, but it's so rewarding when you come out the other side and see that you're the warrior. You've gone through your struggle, and you've become the butterfly because you struggled your way out. And it doesn't always have to be so hard. If you're with yourself, asking yourself those questions, what am I here? Why is this happening again to me? What is this lesson? Instead of getting upset that it's happening to you, it'll make that transition so much easier. To know that you're here going through that, you're going to come out even stronger on the other side, and more beautiful and transformed, and with so much more wisdom and knowledge. Another one of my friends said to me, make your mess your message. I thought that was so wise. I know she said that she didn't come up with it, but still it was so beautiful and so wise, because we become ashamed of our mess and our trauma, that we don't give it the rightful place in our experience, and that's what makes us stronger.
Oh yeah, being authentic. Like, there's so many people now. I mean, there's so many blogs, so many. I know you're gonna start a blog talking about your message, and which I think is gonna be very, very awesome. To share your your experiences. But there's a lot of these girls that they look so beautiful, and they so, like, well down and blah blah. Like, hair is perfect, nails are perfect, everything is perfect. And then there are these people that just come in the front of the camera, and they just, like, open their hearts. So I mostly resonate with the one that like, just you got what you got. This is what I am. So being, like, authentic is, for me, is very important, because you can tell when somebody's just doing something because it's popular, or they want to make a lot of money, or I don't know. So when
I think we can identify with authenticity.
So when you starting your blog?
I soon. Things are, summer is winding down.
I know.
So once summer we have, like, one more weekend left of summer.
Yeah.
I mean,
not
really,
technically
but
we have 3 weeks because it's still.
I know, but everybody's going back to school and getting back in that routine. So I think after this weekend, it's game on. It's time to really buckle down, and I really want to do this. For me, my struggle was, I was such a young mom. I was pregnant at 17 and had a
Wow.
baby at 17 years old, and then again at 21, and then at 25. So I had all my children by the time I was 25 years old. And now it's a wonderful thing, but when I was younger, I, had a lot of shame and guilt because it was frowned upon and was judged a lot. So I think it's important to share that message with people, and especially other young moms.
I think it's, and even for women, like
Oh,
single
women, yes, in
moms
general.
or any,
Yeah.
there's always, I mean, people are just so judgmental with every, with like
Well, you
everything.
like you were talking about in school about being programmed,
Hmm.
about learning this and having to do this, this, and this in order to be a successful student. We're programmed all the time about how to be a successful a wife and mother and friend. But as much as you're programmed, that doesn't mean that that's the plan. The things happen sometimes out of the plan
Hmm.
or what you think the plan is.
And these
And
are
I
the
learned a long time
best.
ago, I'm not in charge. I didn't
Mm.
write the story, but I'm in the story. So I'm doing my best to enjoy and be as grateful as I can be.
That's awesome. Do you have the name for the blog?
No, I
No?
have a couple of ideas,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% sold on just
Okay,
one.
I'm gonna post this interview later on my website and YouTube. So when you have it, then we can always add the link to
Absolutely.
your new blog, so you can inspire other people. Yeah,
And I'll post it on the Masters Octave, the website, and on the Facebook page and the Instagram channel, and also the YouTube. So it'll be out there.
that's awesome. So I have a question. I always ask everybody that I interview. So if you can spend a day with anyone that anyone, anything, from past, present, future, book, whatever, at a planet, who would that be and what would you do?
Um, oh my gosh, such a tough question.
Like, you have few of them, so give us few. I don't know.
I would like to connect with any kind of goddess out there, I guess. I don't have a specific. I think more of the moon goddess, because I feel very connected to the
Mhm.
moon. And I would love to sit in that energy with somebody who is very wise and can really any woman who is really comfortable in their womanhood. I think I don't really have a specific person. I don't know. I don't know how to
No.
answer this question. Sorry, that was lame.
No, I mean, so any like goddess, so could be like from mythology or something, or no?
Yeah, so in mythology, it would be the moon goddess, I think, is Diana.
Yeah, I think so. So, and
And
she's,
she's a warrior.
yeah, and she's like
My
a goddess of animals and like nature. So,
nature,
so,
yes.
oh, yeah, that. And what would you go like to the moon? I guess to the moon and back.
I think that in the woods
I
because I
don't know
think
what.
that's her dwelling grounds.
Okay,
Any story about her has always taken place in the woods.
okay. And you would be surrounded by wolves and like howl to the moon. No,
Yeah, sure.
that would be fun. Yes. Yeah, animals are so interesting. Cool. And then I have another question for you. I asked these two questions to everybody. So, what do you like to do? Which we kind of touched. Like when when you have free time and you just want to like relax and enjoy life when you're not being a mom and doing your jobs and whatever you need to do. Like, what do you do for fun?
I hang out with you.
I know you take it
We
like to
go
take
to,
a bath. Yes. So.
oh yes. I love, oh, and art.
Mhm.
I loved creating and making things. I'm so versatile,
Mhm.
painting and playing with resin now. I like to
Mhm.
repurpose old bottles and make things out of them. Um, yeah, art is my favorite thing to do
Mhm.
when I need some, especially when I need to unwind, stop thinking about things.
So you'd rather do it yourself, or like would you do it with your son, or like you just rather do it yourself so you can just.
The, I've done art with my children,
Mhm.
my sisters, my friends, and myself. I like to have that
Mhm.
myself time.
Mhm.
It's really sometimes you need that,
Mhm. Oh yeah,
but
I
I'm
mean,
not opposed. I'm not opposed to doing art with anybody. I
Hmm.
think it's fun.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I'm an artist, and like I think I was born doing art when I was little. Like I was painting on the walls, and like I was always cutting stuff, and like I had scissors, like always doing something. But I think it's, and when we little children, and we just so programmed, like when we go to school, like this is how it's supposed to be, this art's supposed to be
Hmm.
this way or something, and it's like we lacking this like creativity, and just don't worry about the result, just like be in the moment and express yourself
Yeah.
in the process, no expectations. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I've made by accident
Mhm.
because I was just playing around that I really enjoyed. And there was
Mhm.
other things that I really was intentionally trying to make
Mhm.
by following, steps and
Mhm.
instructions. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. We have to let our creativity, you know, do its thing.
So did you go, like, cause I know like you like photography and stuff. Did you go and like to classes, or you just learned this on your own?
I have some friends who are
Mhm.
photographers who taught me. I've taught myself trial and error. I've
Mhm.
um,
Like at
had
school, did you
some.
used to take art classes, or no?
I did actually take photography in
Mhm.
school as an elective, but wasn't really into it then.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
It wasn't until I got older and my kids started getting older and I really wanted to take beautiful photos of them. That's what got me into it.
So that's cool. So any specific like medium that you like working, or anything like
What
painting,
do you?
or like medium as in like painting, drawing, sculpting, or just
I like it
whatever,
all.
like it all.
I don't have a favorite. I
Okay.
really like, and I'd like to do new things.
Okay. Like
So
you does Jay do art with you?
no,
No. He plays
that's my
sports.
thing.
Yes. Yeah.
He plays the guitar, he plays sports, and he has, he does a lot of things on the computer. He's very technical, so he's always doing
Mhm.
stuff like that. But the
Yeah.
art it's for me.
Yeah, I think like art therapy, it's so like important, and I never believe when people tell me, oh, I'm not a good artist. I don't believe in this, because everybody has their own style. So like, who said
Yeah.
like you're not a good artist? Like, okay, you're not like Da Vinci, but or I mean, like Picasso. People didn't understand his work, and and he
Hmm.
was trained, like when you look at his paintings when he was like his early paintings, they're so realistic, and at the end they're so abstract, but it's like because he chose this, because he was looking for other ways to express himself. But it's, yeah, that's what I'm saying, like just to like, don't look for the how it's supposed to something look, just enjoy the moment, which could be in anything, could be dancing, as could be sports, could be playing the instrument, whatever, like I love gardening. That's my thing too. So the mind body soul connection, the new matrix is coming, I've heard, like the matrix number 4, which is going to be interesting. So what do you think, like how is everything connected, like the mind body soul?
Well, where there's, I think through the chakra systems, my husband speaks about this very, very more than what's the word I'm looking for? In
Technical.
depth,
Yeah.
in depth, in his course, The Soul's Dream. But in the chakra systems, you have the top three chakras that are connected. And you have a brain here, and then you have the bottom three chakras, which are the emotional. So this is like the intellect. This is the emotional bodies down here, and there's the brain in your stomach, and then you have your heart, which everything goes right into the heart center. It comes up from the bottom three chakras and comes down from the top three chakras into the heart and meets there, and your heart expression comes out. So emotions, your thought patterns, your body language, it's all connected. Your
Mm-hmm.
nervous system, you can't hide it as much as we try to. It's what we're taught, is to not be emotional and to not speak your mind, especially in class. But when you are really connecting all three and it's coming out the heart, that's what people are connected to, your heart,
Mm-hmm.
and everything comes from there.
Mm-hmm. So do you have any tips, like, or what do you do when you are angry or like frustrated with something, because again, going back to this victim mentality, we don't want to project our emotions or the people around us, and many times we do this consciously, unconsciously. Like, do you have anything that like you do to like let go of these emotions?
If you have to cry, cry.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to yell, yell. Go through it and get it out. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, exercise, get out, exercise, run, get the energy out any way you can, because that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to get out of your system. That's why you're feeling it. And when you're not letting loose, you will feel overwhelming emotion, usually from the gut, and uncontrollable crying at times when you don't want to experience it. So
somebody said journaling.
Journaling is great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's like in your head, but when you actually write it, and it's like you did an actual physical 3D, like, something manifested. It's not just in your head, because many times we're just in our head and we have all this stuff, and it gets like confusing.
Talking to yourself in the mirror too.
Again, but like speaking loud, not in your head, again, because people may stand in the front of the mirror and like think it in their head, but that's not what you're saying.
No, you have to get it out. So any way of getting it out, writing it out, speaking it. Sometimes I find myself singing songs. I like to just have my alone time singing songs when I'm real upset. I don't even know why I do it, and then it makes me feel a lot better. So any song that I'm connected with. So like, be vocal about it. You got to move it, whatever it takes to move it, whether it's crying, whether it's, expressing it to yourself in the mirror, writing it out, just get it out. Otherwise, you're going to be affected by it later. So
you still tell this to your kids too? Like if they're angry or they have something, like what do you, because usually like the parents will send us to the room, right? And they say like deal with it. And
yeah, and I will tell them to go in his room, but I'll, go breathe. You need to be alone sometimes when you're feeling angry or frustrated. So in your own space, that's his space. He decorated it himself, and that's his space. So I definitely tell him to go there or outside or whatever he needs to do. But breathing is my major thing with my kids. Go take a couple deep breaths, calm down, and then we normally talk about everything in a calm manner.
Okay, that's awesome. I think I completely agree, because a lot of times all these emotions, and that's why when something comes like all over, like you're feeling, where is this coming from? It could be stuff from many years ago, and it's in your cells, like it's stuck in your cells. When there's animals like in the jungle, or like, I don't know, like a gazelle is escaping from the lion, and like the lion doesn't get her, she goes in the bush and she shakes for like 30 minutes to like get out this adrenaline. And I've been listening to this program, and they said, and what would we do, like when there is like, I don't know, a hurricane or something bad happen, and like Red Cross and people like come and like trying to help the people, they put blankets on them, all this, like the people in the fire or whatever, and they said that's the worst thing you can do, because they didn't have a chance to like let it out, that energy, and then it's like you're covering them and it gets stuck in them, and later it may be like they may have issues or something. I was like, wow, that's so interesting.
When my husband and I were learning hypnotherapy, I don't remember where we heard it from, but they also said if you see somebody crying during a hypnosis session, to not touch them, let them get their emotion out. But when you touch them, you're triggering that trauma instead of letting them release it. You're covering it basically.
And many times, even like with like somebody's crying or something, and we're like, oh, stop crying, like stop, or what happened, and like again, like we're not letting these emotions out, which, I mean, I'm not saying if somebody's crying for like hours, and has really like it's out of control or something, but so.
Well, I think for men and young men, that's the first thing that they're taught, is to not have that crying emotion. So
be tough.
Be tough. Yeah. I've seen that a lot. So we have to learn to let people be emotional, but also try to cheer them up, not to dwell there. You release it and you move on.
So do you have any, so you said you like to watch documentaries. Do you have any favorite documentaries or movies that you like? Do you guys like watching movies? Is that like...
Yeah. Well, we love Avatar and The Matrix. The documentary Heal, it's on Netflix. Very, very good documentary. And Emotions, that's one of our favorites. That's, I think, on Gaia TV. But, I mean, there's so many.
I know, there's so many.
So Zeitgeist was a great documentary, too. I don't know if you consider that a documentary, but very good, very interesting.
I didn't see it. I don't think so. So one day I hope to make a documentary if I find the time, but that's like on my list. So back in college, like video art was my major, so I did like a short video, so it was fun. But yeah, what else? We talked. Did I forget something? Is there anything that you want to add to? Like the energy, you do those podcasts or whatever you call it with your friend, yes, who is a professional astrologer. Is there new coming, or is there anything that you want to...
She does her own podcast for like the weekly forecast, so I really highly recommend listening to that. She's very good. We mostly talk about the moon, the day of the moon, what we're going to see, like surrounding that energy. So I don't really.
Is there a new coming? Is there new coming?
What's that?
Are you gonna have a new one, like a new show soon? Do you have a date?
Oh yeah. We should have one out. It should have already been out, but we're a little bit delayed, having some technical difficulties. But it should be out by tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And then we usually have it out days before the new and full moon.
Oh, so you have it twice a month, yes?
Yeah.
And how people can find it on Masters Octave?
On the Masters Octave YouTube channel and the Facebook channel right now.
That's awesome. And that's like you talk about the current energies. That's really, really cool. So anything else to like summarize at the end? Let me see, there were some questions. Alex is saying something, my husband is saying something. I don't know. It's so hard to see the comments. How we should end it, this chat, girls chat?
Oh, I guess what we're talking about is emotions and how it's energy emotion. So be aware of that. To just you do what you have to do to feel them, because I mean that's a huge part of manifesting right there. It's energy emotion. So we need to move that energy. And the emotions are not necessarily all negative. Like you have happy emotions too, joy and laughter and excitement. So just be aware and understanding of your emotions and the people's around you. And also being an empath, sometimes being aware that other people's emotions can rub off on you. So doing cleansing things like bathing and getting your feet in the ground. Sage, yes, burning candles, and speaking that intention out there. It's very, very important.
So tomorrow is the super new moon, which means the moon is very close to the earth, and I think it's called black super full moon. So it's I think it's like very dark. So I think it has something to do. I know the full moon is gonna be the farmer's moon, because it's gonna be like, it's
harvesting.
Harvest moon, not farmers. But yeah, it's like because the farmers are harvesting everything. So
it's that time of year.
Yeah.
And with this new moon, we have Venus and Mercury and Mars all conjunct the sun and moon. So we have a lot of supportive energy for manifesting. Mars is all about motion and action. And Venus is about your passion and art and beauty. So there's a lot of supportive manifesting energies for this new moon.
So if somebody has ideas, like put them out there, yes? Write them down.
Absolutely.
And what, put it outside on the moon, or what do you do with them?
I write them down in a journal.
Okay.
Like I said, we are an Earth new moon. You can bury it outside if you'd like. There's so many rituals out there. I try so many different things, but mostly writing them down. I think one woman has suggested to have a new moon book, which I'm going to start doing this month, as a matter of fact, just for new moon intentions, and to not look at it again until the next new moon, when you're writing your next new moon intention. So it's kind of like writing it and then letting it go. Don't perpetuate on it.
Like you
I have done.
it.
Yes, you're setting it, and then you're letting fate handle it, or the energies handle it for you.
Awesome. So and here is in the United States, it's a holiday weekend, so a lot of people are going to be celebrating, going to the beach. Maybe we see you guys next week at the beach. That would be really nice.
It's possible.
It's possible. Yeah. So so this was such a pleasure to have you. I will definitely, when I see you one time, when the weather gets cooler and we're gonna be spending more time indoors, I think it will be fun to do like a streaming with our therapy, and we can do some like a class about essential oils or something. I think people would really like that, actually, like in action. And of course cooking too. So I forgot to ask you, so you practice the fasting, intermittent fasting, so how do you like that?
Intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, actually. So I find I'm more energized, and I'm not so sluggish because I'm not eating all day long.
So how many hours do you fast for?
I think 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually don't eat until lunchtime or after like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I stop at around 7 or 8 o'clock. Don't go past that.
Okay. So you like it? Because I feel like
I do.
I know some people that like they do it for 23 hours and they only eat one meal.
There's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah. So does Jay do it, or just you?
I don't think he intentionally does.
Oh, okay. So.
No, he likes, he'll eat in the morning, he'll eat whenever, but he has fasted with me the intermittent fasting before. Yes.
Yeah. And here Alex said Palo Santo. Yes, burning sage, Palo Santo, all these things, to clean the energy, the essential oils, or just the intentions. Okay, so this was I don't even know what time it is because we kind of started a little later. But so give them the website, how they can find you. What's the website for?
We're at the mastersoctave.org. We're in the Masters Octave on Facebook and also on YouTube.
Okay, awesome.
So you can find us those ways.
Okay, so thank you so much, Jamie. It was such a pleasure having you. And I know we're going to be doing more interviews and like in-person classes, to do like actual art and cooking and whatever we're going to be doing, essential oil, beauty products. Maybe some rituals, maybe some moon rituals we can do,
Yes.
Experimenting.
Let's do it.
That would be fun. So, okay, guys. So, and yeah, if you want some yummy recipes, you can go to my website, olenkoskitchen.com, and I'll be doing much more interviews. I just took some break off over the summer because I just needed some break. But yeah, summer's almost over, so back to work. Okay, so good night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. Much love.
Much love.